Hello, listeners. Tonight, we dive into history that's so boring, it might just put you to sleep. But hidden in the dull dates and dusty events are mysteries, secrets, and stories you've never heard. So, dim the lights, let the world fall away, and prepare yourself to step silently into the past. So get comfortable, maybe grab a blanket, and let's explore the weird, dark, and strangely fascinating side of the past. But the bad news is that you're alive with lice, ants, insects, and an unfamiliar smell. Your bed is a mere half-destroyed structure on a pile of straw. 3 months ago, it was the floor of a cowshed. Now, it's your sleeping place, soft pillows. You won't find it in your dreams, fluffy sheets. Brother, sheets here mean a pile of wool, which hasn't been washed since last winter. So much dirt has accumulated that the sheet now weighs almost as much as a goat. As soon as you open your eyes, the bells of the distant church ring, a medieval alarm clock. The problem is that there is no such thing as a snooze button. When the bell rings, it means you have to get up. If you don't get up, the priest will come and remind you. Your laziness is a direct ticket to hell. The inside of the house is completely open concept. Does it sound fancy? In fact, the thing is that you live in the same room with your parents, your siblings, your next-door cousin, the goats, and the insects in the house. There is only one room, no windows, and a smell that is difficult to describe floats in the air. The sour smell of wine, the smell of sweat, goat feces, and the fungus that has accumulated in some corner combine to form a real symphony. When you stretch your body in the morning, it feels like your bones are breaking. You may be 22, but in the Middle Ages, this means that half of your life is over. Your bones make a sound like an old door being opened. When you bend your knees, there is a knock, as if someone is shaking a sack full of stones. If you try to stand up, you will see that the floor is either wet from the rain last night or dry from the special donation made by the chickens. It is difficult to say which is worse. In any case, now your feet are also part of this ecosystem. Privacy, what is that? Your whole family is getting up together, along with their bad moods and fevers. No one will ever think that you want to be alone for a while. There are no curtains, no separate rooms, just one community life. Another thing is insects, lice, flies, ants. All think of your body as a free flat. Your hair is a battlefield. Your skin is red from bites under your arms. So normal that no one notices. The farmer next door will chat with you while scratching his head. Now you are thinking, let's go outside and get some fresh air. Forget it. Go outside and you will see the sweet smell of cow dung wafting through the morning mist. The village path is a mudslide, sometimes mixed with unknown liquids. It is better to have sandals. Otherwise, you will feel a connection with history on bare feet. You have not brushed your teeth yet, because the custom of brushing your teeth was almost non-existent. As a result, a unique scent is wafting from your mouth. But don't worry, everyone in the village is the same. No one can be singled out. After all this wailing, you think the day is not over yet. Don't get me wrong, it's just a warm-up. The real nightmare will begin when nature calls. And it won't call gently, it will scream. So, congratulations. You managed to roll out of the straw bed, and now you are standing on the muddy floor. It seems like, let's get some air, start the day. But no, nature suddenly reminds you with a loud voice, brother, go to the bathroom first. The problem is, there is no such thing as a bathroom here. Your entire village is a kind of public toilet. If you are a farmer, then your personal washroom is a wooden bucket kept behind the house. What a smell, brother. It is indescribable. Some say it is worse than the biblical plague. After using the bucket, the work is not finished. It has to be emptied. And the custom of emptying is to pour it out the window of the street. But before pouring, you must shout, Gardilu, which means careful down. It sounds nice, but the truth is that no one ever moves out in time. As a result, the street gradually becomes a river of human feces, animal feces, and some mysterious liquid. If you live in a city, there are public latrines. After whom? Next to you, and the smell is such that breathing it in is like wishing for death. The word privacy had not yet been invented. There is no toilet paper either. There are alternatives: hair straw, dry leaves, old clothes, moss, and, if you're lucky, torn pieces of wool. And if you're unlucky, that's a luxury of the rich. Now think about it. If you live in a castle, are things any better? Not really. The castle has a wardrobe, a hole in the wall, directly below into the canal. Not a bad idea, unless the enemy enters the castle through that hole. Yes, the enemy sometimes entered through the sewer hole and attacked. You come out of the toilet, and now you are looking for water. The problem is, water is not life. Here it is a ticket to death. The river next door looks clear, flowing with a gurgle. It seems to be drinkable, but you don't know. A kilometer away, someone has overturned their bucket. So what is the alternative? Everyone drinks beer, morning, noon, night, even children, because water has to be boiled to make beer, and that is at least somewhat safe. However, it is a weak beer, low in alcohol, but it gradually brings a fog to the brain. Milk, it turns sour within a few hours. As a result, the drink in the village means beer. External cleanliness, forget it. In the Middle Ages, many believed that bathing opened the pores of the body and allowed disease to enter. So keeping a layer of dirt was a hygiene rule. If someone took a bath, gossip would start in the village. Oh, father, he must be dying of disease. Nevertheless, there were public bathhouses in Sinki. So if you want to bathe one day, you have to do the whole ceremony. Then everyone bathes in the same water, one by one. The first person has good luck. The last person has bad luck, because then the color of the water becomes darker than tea. This is your morning preparation. Passing the toilet means victory. Surviving the water is a blessing. And now, you have to look at your stomach because it's breakfast time. Now you've come out of the nightmare of the toilet, swallowed the water you drank with beer, and are getting ready for the first pleasure of the day breakfast. What can I say, friends? Breakfast here means only illness, bad taste, and contact with the reality of life. First, sit down or sit down, whichever is possible. In front of you is a wooden bowl of porridge. It looks like someone made rice from a muddy boot shell, because that's basically it. Porridge means whatever is available mixed together and cook on the stove. Grains, root vegetables, sometimes a few dried beans. This is not a recipe, but an ongoing food experiment. Bread is laid out next to it. By bread, you don't mean soft, warm, fragrant. No, it's so hard that it can withstand arrows. It's made from rye or barley, sometimes with soy dust or some kind of acorn dirt mixed in for cheapness. Eating fruit means warm. Water, forget it. You're drinking beer in the morning. Yes, the children too. Because river or well water means death, and beer means survival. Meat, don't even dream of it. This is only on Sundays or religious holidays. Everyday life means vegetables, bread, and sometimes vegetables. Fruit only in season, and when it turns into wine, it's no longer edible. You'll understand in 2 minutes. Sit's not a snack, it's a test. Your teeth know. Brush your teeth. Haha, forget it. There's no tradition of brushing your teeth. The result, in middle age, your teeth will look black and pitted like ghosts. Sore tongue, bad breath, and yes, smiling is dangerous. No one would think that oral health is one of the battlefields of life. If you're rich, your teeth deteriorate quickly with sugar. If you're poor, it deteriorates slowly. Toothache, get over it. Because in the Middle Ages, there were no dentists. There were only barbaric surgeons who knew how to cut hair and also extract teeth. Yes, extracting teeth with iron hooks by candlelight. Pain, yes, that's a constant truth. Now work clothes. Oh, your only clothes, a long tunic of wool or linen, the only one, worn for months or years. Seasonal fashion, out of budget. Putting on and taking off clothes only means an opportunity for disease or fungus. Not only that, underwear. If you have it, it's fine. If not, it's fine. Wash it. Oh, forget it. You have to fetch water from the river. Crusty, unsupportive, and the poor. Bare feet, mud, animal feces, sharp stones, and illness. Skin, scalp, skin of the fetal are centers of suffering. Lice, flies, ants, fungus, and no one even notices. People will see you're working, and it doesn't matter. This is a medieval morning drinking beer, eating porridge, having a toothache, wearing moldy clothes, entering a new chapter in life, and your real day hasn't even begun yet. Now, you're ready to eat breakfast, get dressed, endure a toothache, and endure insect bites. Breakfast is over. Even if your stomach is not in order, you must begin the most important task of the day. Yes, my friend, this is medieval laborware. The only goal of life is not to die. If you are a poor farmer, then today means in the open field as soon as the sun rises. 6 days, the only rest is Sunday. But Sunday is not always available. If it is harvest time, or if evil enemies come, or if illness strikes, there is no rest. The weapons in your hands, just a wooden tool or a rough iron. Only theoretical weapons for work. The real enemies are clay, stone, direct sun. No home behind, no office, no vacation. The beginning of the day means only one thing: plowing the land, sowing seeds, pulling weeds, bending your spine into an S shape to water. And remember, no one will ask, "How are you feeling?" No one will do a mental health check, because everyone is at risk. Women, they don't just cook, they take care of the children, feed the animals, wash the clothes, and try not to catch their husband's lice on their heads. And children's work starts at the age of 5. No school, no toys, just a small wooden cauldron and a dream not to die of the flu or a fever one day. If some lucky ones work in leather, wells, metal, or wood, that too is not easy. Working all day with fire, chemicals, or the insides of dead animals. Remuneration, survival, opportunity, never. And the weather. Winter, your house, wooden walls, window coverings. There is a fire, but there is a shortage of wood. There is no sun. The sun comes out once every 3 days. Feet and nose are permanently cold. Fingers are like little medieval ice cream cones. Frostbite, thank goodness, that is bad luck. Summer, your house, burnt clay like glass. There is no air in the house. You sweat, work directly in the sun, in the open field. You can't wash, you can't show it. Because in the Middle Ages, physical beauty was a matter of shame. Mosquitoes, flies, the smell of sweat, all together testing your body. Now think this situation lasts 12 hours, 14 hours, sometimes 16 hours. Just work, food. I mean, today you ate bitter porridge and hard bread, but there is no end to the work. If you are a woman, the work schedule is even more brutal. Cooking, clothes. At the end of the day, go to bed with the remaining energy at night. Children work since the age of 5. They still have no education and no future. They live only with the fields, hay, animals, and the pain of work. This is the reality of the medieval Datha. Body is crushed. The skin is a game of lice. The ground is full of mud and stones. No one else will help. Is the work finished? Yes, only hunger will increase, and the cycle of the day will begin again. And in the midst of all this suffering, the king, the noble, or the lord sits in a safe castle, enriched by the labor of the poor. You work just to survive. Now think, night is coming. You are returning home. And at this very moment, it seems the real test of food will now begin. Food still means death, disease, or a question of being able to digest it. Night has fallen. The fatigue of the day, the aching feet, the mud, the lice and insect bites all together when you finally return home. It will seem today is just another chapter of your nightmare. But friends, to tell the truth, medieval life is never peaceful, because religion, disease, and death always stand eye to eye. First of all, religion. Remember, the church is not just a religious institution, but the owner of your life. Birth, marriage, death, everything is in their hands. Your schedule, determined by the prayer bell. The bell rings in the morning, at noon, at night. There is no necessity, just a reminder. Hell awaits if you make a mistake in praying. If you forget to pray, even the food you don't eat will be considered a sin. Sneaking a glance at your husband's back, imagining your neighbor's wife in your dreams, all are morally sinful. In the eyes of religion, these mistakes are a direct ticket to hell. And now let's come to disease and health. Take a toothache, a stomachache, or a mild fever. In the Middle Ages, treatment meant patient suffering. There are no modern doctors. only barber surgeons, and their job is to make the disease as bad as possible rather than cure it. Treatment begins with a balance of humors. The four humors: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, black bilar, the cause of all physical problems, fever, excess blood. The solution: bloodletting, cutting with a hook to collect blood, pain or sorrow. Excess black bile, the solution: inducing vomiting, laxatives, or prayer, prayer. And if a bone breaks or a large wound is cut, there is no anesthesia. Surgery is done with a rough knife, with tools heated over a fire. Germs? You don't know. This is medieval medicine, but a test of patience and courage. Now, think about it. If you catch a disease, its effects are not just physical. You will be judged socially. It's not your smile or your beauty that matters. It's your land and the number of animals. And the disease that is cured, everyone will think, "Oh, God has mercy. Doctor, he will take credit." And dinner, yes, the happiness of the end of the day. But friends, here food means the risk of death. There is no food preservation, refrigerator, freezer, nothing. Only salt, smoke, or cold air. Meat, if you are lucky, then for a day, cow dung or lice may fly again. Bread, yes, hard bread again. Sometimes lice or fruits mixed in. Grains, root vegetables, turnip sol hanging together is an extreme uncertainty. Fruit, seasonal, sugar for the rich. Now you see the moon in the night sky, but don't breathe even in the Middle Ages. The light is not quiet. Disease, lice, lack of warmth, or cold, it's all there. And death, it's a daily reality. Plague, flu, allergies, all come at the hands of death. Once you get sick, there is no proper treatment. Death is always waiting. And if you want to see the morning again, yes, you will have to wake up again with straw beds, lice, insects, mud, hard bread, beer, and new nightmares of the day. Friends, this is medieval life. No soft beds, no privacy, no health, bad food, inconvenient clothing. Work means escape from death. Religion means rules and secret judgments. Disease means the possibility of death. But the only hope is firmness and patience, because sometimes survival is victory itself. And if you survive to the end, you are a brave man in the eyes of history. So, friends, today's medieval journey ends here. Fear, the experience of ridiculous pain, stories of labor pains, bloody teeth, hard bread, and defil, together a real pixel of history. Listen, if today's educated you, then you have truly opened your eyes to medieval life. And remember how lucky we are for today's modern conveniences. It will seem today is just a chapter of your nightmare. But friends, to tell the truth, medieval life is never peaceful, because religion, disease, and death always stand eye to eye. First of all, religion. Remember, the church is not just a religious institution, but the owner of your life. Birth, marriage, death, everything is in their hands. Your schedule, determined by the prayer bell. The bell rings in the morning, at noon, at night. There is no necessity, just a reminder. Hell awaits if you make a mistake in praying. If you forget to pray, even the food you don't eat will be considered a sin. Sneaking a glance at your husband's back, imagining your neighbor's wife in your dreams all are morally sinful. In the eyes chaos of religion, these mistakes are a direct ticket to hell. And now let's come to disease and health. Take a toothache, a stomachache, or a mild fever. In the Middle Ages, treatment meant patient suffering. There are no modern doctors, only barber surgeons, and their job was to make the disease as bad as possible rather than cure it. Treatment began with a balance of humors. The 4 humors: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, black bilar, the cause of all physical problems. Fever, excess blood, the solution, bleeding, cutting with a hook to collect blood. Pain or sorrow, excess black bile, the solution, inducing vomiting. Laxatives or prayer, prayer. And if a bone breaks or a large wound is cut, there is no anesthesia. Surgery is done with a rough knife, with tools heated over fire, germs you don't know. This is medieval medicine, but a test of patience and courage. Now think about it. If you catch a disease, its effects are not just physical. You will be judged socially. It's not your smile or your beauty that matters. It's your land and the number of animals. And the disease that is cured, everyone will think, oh, God has mercy. Doctor, he will take credit and dinner. Yes, the happiness of the end of the day. But friends, here food means the risk of death. There is no food preservation refrigerator, freezer, nothing. Only salt, smoke, or cold air. Meat, if you are lucky. Then, for a day, cow dung or lice may fly in again. Bread, yes, hard bread again. Sometimes lice or fungus mixed in. Grains, root vegetables, turnip sole hanging together is an extreme uncertainty. Fruit, seasonal, sugar for the rich. Now you see the moon in the night sky. But don't breathe even. In the Middle Ages, the night was not quiet. Disease, lice, lack of warmth, or cold it was all there. And death, it is a daily reality. Plague, flu, allergies, Saul, come at the hands of death. Yes, you will have to wake up again with straw beds, lice, insects, mud, hard bread, beer, and new nightmares of the day. Friends, this is medieval life. No soft beds, no privacy, no health, bad food, inconvenient clothing. But the only hope is firmness and patience, because sometimes survival is victory itself. And if you survive to the end, you are a brave man in the eyes of history. So, friends, today's medieval journey ends here. Listen, if today's story has made you laugh, terrified, or educated you, then you have truly opened your eyes to medieval life. And remember how lucky we are to have today's modern conveniences.